For this trick, you'll begin with a rubber band around your first 3 fingers, and then with your other hand, you'll grab the other 2 fingers, nothing in the hand, and when you pull, the rubber band seems to shoot over to the other side. To set up for this trick, you'll begin with a rubber band around your wrist. Now you'll stretch the rubber band pretty far, and you'll come back around between your thumb and your index finger, and you'll clip the rubber band there. Now you'll come backwards, so if I let go, it will just shoot out. Clip it, pull back, and then go over these 3 fingers, just like that. Now when you look down here, you can see the rubber band is on my wrist, so what I'm going to do is hide it in the crease of my wrist, and then tilt forward a little bit, and it just looks like there's wrinkles in your wrist. No one will ever notice the rubber band there. Some magicians like to put extra rubber bands around their wrist and just have them there to help hide it. Now all you need to do is pull on these 2 fingers. That's just a decoy. Really, you're just lifting your thumb up to allow the rubber band to shoot out, and it will automatically shoot to the other fingers. So you'll pull here, and when you do, you'll loosen your grip, and the rubber band does all the work. I'm going to take this rubber band and double it up around my first 2 fingers, just like this. Then I'm going to take a second rubber band and interlace it around these 4 fingers, so that there's absolutely no way for me to get this rubber band off of these fingers without removing the blue rubber band. But if you watch close, it seems to jump right across. There's just a little bit of setup needed for this trick, and you could do it right in front of the spectator. So you'll take the first rubber band and double it up as shown in the video earlier, and then you really will take the second one and interlace it across your fingers. So everything is exactly as it seems. But now, as you're explaining that there's no way to get this rubber band off your fingers without removing the blue, you're going to pull it out to the side. As you close your hand, you're going to put these 4 fingers inside the rubber band. So now it looks from the front like it's just there, but it's actually here. And if you were to open your hand, it slides across your fingers onto the other side. And you can do it in reverse too. So if I just did this and that, it would go back. So again, you're showing it as it is. And then when you say, hey, there's no way to get this rubber band off without removing the blue one, you're going to pull it down. As you turn your hand over, you're going to put the fingers in like that as you're turning your hand over, and you show it. And now with a quick open and close, it seems to jump across. This trick requires a little bit of setup. You put one rubber band around your finger, and then you break a second one in half, and you tape part of it to your thumb and the other part to your index finger so it looks like it's a full rubber band. Now open your fingers slightly when you're ready for the bands to link. If you place a rubber band around your fingers like this, it creates almost like a little circle. And then if you take a second rubber band and you put it behind the first, you link your hands together in a way that if you don't remove the rubber bands from your fingers, there's really no way to separate your hands. But if you just rub them together like this, they seem to just melt through each other. These are regular rubber bands. You can borrow them from somebody, and you really set it up exactly as it looks. So the first one goes like this. The second one goes behind the first one like this. So you really are kind of in a trapped position where you can't separate your hands. Now the move happens when you say, I really can't separate my hands, and when you do that, you're actually doing the move. And the way it works is like this. With your right hand, when you pull back, this finger is going to touch here, and you're going to pull back like this and let the rubber band slip onto your middle finger, freeing up your index finger, so your index finger can slide in with your thumb. And then as you come back in, you're going to let go with your middle finger. So this one goes in here. As you come back together, you'll let the middle finger slip out and the rubber band pops around. Of course, you still hold it together so it looks like it's stuck. So I'll show it again in regular motion once so you can see. So you're going to say, look, without removing the rubber bands, I can't really separate my hands. And I just did the move. And then you just rub them together and you act, and then you separate them. In slow motion, the way it looks is like this. And I really can't separate my hands. Back. This one goes in here. You come forward. You let go. Rub. Done. Once again, I'm going to begin with my hands locked with 2 rubber bands. But as you'll see, the one in my right hand, as I roll it into the first one, it seems to vanish. This trick is done with an ordinary rubber band around your fingers just like this. With your other hand, you'll take your index finger and your thumb, you'll go upside down and then place it in the middle, pull to the side, and then twist back like that. Now, when you hold this rubber band against itself, it looks like there's 2 rubber bands, but it's really just linked right here. If you move your hands around, especially if you're doing this trick right after another trick that you did with 2 rubber bands, they'll assume there's 2 here. Then you'll just slowly remove these 2 fingers, rub them together, and when you move away, it seems to vanish. For this trick, we're going to take a rubber band and break it. Now I place the ring onto the band, and if you watch closely, as I tilt upward, you see the ring slowly climbing up the rubber band. This is another simple trick that uses real props. So you have a real ring and a rubber band that I broke in half. The secret is that once you stretch the band out and tilt upward, you have all this extra band left behind in your right hand. And if you slowly loosen your grip and let the band slip through your fingers, it appears as though the ring is moving up the rubber band. For this trick, you'll begin with a rubber band stretched between your 2 ring fingers. Then you'll put your thumb inside the rubber band, stretch it back, and then with your middle finger, pull down. Of course, the spectator doesn't see that part. When you're ready for the marker to go through the rubber band, you'll release from your middle finger, and the rubber band will shoot quickly around the marker, looking as though it went through. At first glance, this looks like a regular rubber band, but when you flip it inside, you find a secret message. The only way to read this message is to stretch the rubber band. Stretch a thick rubber band around a book, or in this case I'm using an iPad, and then write your message with tall, thin letters. Now when you unstretch the rubber band, the message is hard to read. To do the rubber band gun gag, you'll take the rubber band and place it against your pinky, and then hold that against the palm of your hand. Then you'll pull back, wrap it around the base of your thumb, and onto the front of your index finger, just like this. Now, when you loosen up your grip on the pinky, the rubber band will shoot. To do the fake rubber band gag, you're going to take a marker or a pen and you're going to draw a line across the front of your thumb so it looks like a rubber band. Then you'll make the motion of shooting a rubber band, and from the front perspective, it looks like you're actually holding one.